Segovia, back here with another reaction, y'all. Let's get into it.
Fast right now? Somebody said you're
Yes,
fasting.
I am.
How long is the fast going to last?
40 days.
And how does it feel?
Feels wonderful.
Any food at all? Any substance?
Yeah, well, no, I drink juice, water, drink sea moss.
Sea moss?
Sea moss.
And what does that do for you?
Well, see, the body is comprised of 102 minerals, and sea moss is 99 of them.
No kidding.
So it's
So you're feeling good?
yeah.
Would you recommend this to a guy like Tyrese?
I would recommend it for everyone.
You know, Jamie done a lot. The naked basketball games that he hosted. I mean, everybody knew. And there's no point in me hiding it now because his fate has been sealed, whatever it may be. But everybody knew if you went to a party at Jamie's house that at midnight, the witching hour began. And basically he would have a party and everybody would be in there. But at 12 o'clock, the women would start to take off their clothes and you would have to guess if you were with a cisgender woman or a transgender woman. So some of these dudes, they already been making out with these chicks, you know, they already been doing all kinds of stuff. And then the clothes come off and you figure out whether or not you got a chick or a chick with a dick.
Last saved my life. The internet was trying to kill me though. The internet said that Puffy tried to kill me. That's what the internet was saying. I know what you're thinking. Did he? Hell no, nigga. I left them parties early. I was out by 9.
They all say that, don't they? They left the party early, but he had his own parties.
Don't look right. It's slippery in here.
I've seen so many clips of him talking about when he was first coming up, like he was the dude with the camera. That's who he was. He was on Snoop Dogg's GGN, I remember, and he was talking about getting into these parties with Diddy and begging to get in and all that. So Jamie Foxx did some things, y'all, and he had his own parties.
Listen, when you get to a level of success, when you getting 30, 40, 50,000 a show, you platinum, you running across the world. There's 3 different doors, right? There's 3 different ways to walk. There's to the left, there's to the right, and then there's straight. Straight is you're on your own. Let's see if you continue this success, young man. Okay. Let's see if it's all about your skills, young man. Let's really see that. Okay. You went straight. To the right, I'm not sure if that's the homo shit right there. And then there's to the left, I'm not sure if there's some sacrifice shit going on right there. I'm not sure because I went straight. But I was offered these doors.
Since you were offered some gay shit?
I don't, no. I'm saying that to the right when I seen it, those was those guys over there. You know what I'm saying? Those different people, which I have no problem with. You know, that's y'all. You feel me? And I just chose to go straight. And I haven't been platinum since.
Well, on that note,
people didn't really like Diddy that much, but Jay-Z's like the most respected rapper of all time. So if that actually ends up being true.
The rapper was accused of 13-year-old girl with Sean Diddy Combs at an MTV VMAs after party in 2000.
I feel like I can't be surprised by anything anymore just because all of these big names are doing not great things.
Diddy has several sexual assault lawsuits against him, but this is the first time Jay-Z has been named. Are you surprised by this?
Shocking. I'm shocked. I love his music. I love Jay-Z. You know, he's part of the hood. It comes from here.
If all those celebrities were willing to keep their mouths shut about Diddy, who's not even that important, imagine the lengths they'll go for other people.
You reap what you sow. If you got caught in something like that, you knew he was getting into
it. If that happens with Jay-Z, that would be way worse.
He was like 16. That's all I'm saying.
Did I sign it? It sounds like you.
All I'm saying is in this industry, when we live in these glass houses.
It seems like you got a question for Jay. Ask him. So when you say that Foxy was 16 when she got signed, why did you say that just now? Just curious.
When I first was introduced to who Foxy was, I thought there was something between Foxy and Jay.
Oh, yeah, Jay. But that's the question you're trying to ask me.
Oh, I would say, because you was there. I only can ask the people. You my man, we close. You was there. That's all I was asking.
It would be so out of my character to speak on another man's business.
So we not going to do that, because we don't want you to speak out of character. I thought Foxy
You think Jay-Z or
probably not a good time right now.
Charles don't give a damn.
You're silly, man. You're silly, man.
Go see if you can fix the wall, will you,
Fix the
Shaq?
wall, man.
Yeah. Here, back here.
Fix the
I'll
wall,
go
man.
see if I can fix the wall.
My point was too soon, Kenny.
My point was
you think?
Oh my God! Here we go. Here it is. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Like, what are these?
What is that?
They got to be government made. You know? Like, we have a clip coming up of, you know, one of those C-SPAN court hearings, and they say, I don't know what they don't know what they are. I think that's BS, because they would not be letting these things fly around the city if they didn't know what they were. I mean, if you go hop a fence at an Air Force base, they're on your ass quick. I've seen it at Luke Air Force Base where I used to live. Somebody went over that fence, they were on them quick. So can you imagine these things coming over our border country and nobody's on them? They know what's up. They know what they're doing. We don't know what they're doing, but they know what they're doing. They've been planning this for years.
If the eclipse was dangerous, all the birds would be blind. Like, all the birds flying around during the eclipse would all be blind.
What the fuck is this?
Be completely not being able to see, but the birds are out just flying around.
Oh,
so,
okay.
you know, you just sit there. Of course, you know, don't look at it. That's what they'll tell you. You won't make it. I've already watched a lot of them. That's for sure. And I've watched plenty of them. I've done.
My woman brought me some breakfast. She's off today. We got a doctor's appointment. Do you guys mind if I eat it? I'm so hungry.
Sun gazing, I've done eclipse gazing, I've done moon gazing, I've done candlelight gazing, I've done it all. I'm still here. I got sun lamps that I've seen. I'm still here. I can see every single thing. They're just keeping you in a spell, is what it is, of not bringing in these light spectrums, which are changing the brain.
Let me eat real quick, y'all.
Changing the way that the brain works. Anything they tell you, it's really just the opposite, is what it is. Because the only people who are telling you, who are in charge,
don't get mad at me.
You know, the mainstream media,
No,
that who are in
you got
charge,
hot sauce on my
are
mic.
just Muppets. Like, they're just straight Muppets. They're Muppets who are just telling you, like, you should do this, because they're just trying to keep you in this low frequency loop and just keep you in that fear and, oh my gosh. And here's the other thing.
What people don't know is that Hudson County, New Jersey, northern New Jersey, is the #1 place in the country where they have the most UFO sightings.
Really? Northern New Jersey.
Look it up, Jamie, if you get a minute, please, not to be rude.
But isn't that like near a couple airports?
No, it's closer to like you know, like when you live in New York City and you look at the Hudson River. They say that people go on their balcony, they're drinking coffee, they're talking on the phone, and they'll see a little flying saucer go by.
Really?
And I know for a fact that in 1976,
a little one,
whatever the fuck they are, I know for a fact that in 1975 and 1976, you could check me out on this. A UFO landed in Hudson County Park. I was a kid, and the next day the feds locked off the park. They had yellow tape. They had samples. Go look it up, dog. There's a UFO. You see that's called, North Bergen is where I'm from. That's called, I forget what it's called, but it's a circular building. So they did so much coke in there in the 80s, they called it the grinder. That's what they called it, because it was shaped like the Stonehenge. The Stonehenge. I have a couple friends that lived there. People that lived in that building have seen UFOs for fucking years. And if you go to YouTube, there's an actual North Hudson Park UFO. Wow. They dug up, they came out there's a liquor store. And the liquor store guy says he's seen the lights. You heard like the organ music that they play. Ooh. They landed. A couple Martians got out and took samples and got back in the thing and took off. There's a YouTube thing. There's a History Channel special about it. And I still remember being a young kid.
Did you find anything, Jamie?
That was what's popping up. All that stuff about that building and.
Oh yeah, no.
Is there anything that says a UFO landed?
That's the story I'm reading right now. Is what he's saying. Yeah.
And witnesses. You know, it's not just one guy that says I know UFO. It's people who got knocked on the door and said,
Y'all don't be mad at me. I'm hungry. I haven't ate since yesterday at like 5 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock right now. I'm sorry, y'all. I never do this, but this is a one-time occurrence.
Did you see?
But Joey's been talking about this for a long time.
They said, you know what?
Like
there were
7
lights
years ago, this
flashing
clip.
outside. They contacted police departments to see if there was any. They went full. Then the FBI came in, circled the park. It was by the Little League field in Hudson County. But it is like you'd think it was Area 51. You'd think it was close to northern Las Vegas. The number one place to see UFOs is northern New Jersey. They even made a reference to it in The Sopranos. When he said something, he goes, "What are you talking about? Last week you said you seen a UFO in Hackensack." Because that's where they're at. Hackensack, Moonachie.
Right.
All those. You go to Moonachie, New Jersey, a lot of ugly people. A lot of people with big heads. The only good thing in Moonachie, New Jersey is fucking Segovia, Spanish restaurant. It's been there since 19 fucking Schlemensky. I don't know. But that's the only good thing about Moonachie. I think those people in Moonachie have been abducted. There you go. And they put them back as big-headed motherfuckers.
I did a gig there.
All right.
上面还有别人的吗？不是公安。
世界末日的感觉，外星人要来。要不要下呀？全下去了，我操！
它不是降落，它在空中，你看我这。
我也在拍。
要不所有的无人机都被打下来了。刚才的还有上面还有别人的吗？不是公安的。
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
Today, we heard from a member of the FBI.
Oh, we're back. Sorry about that, y'all. And now I'm going to get some comments. We came here to watch a reaction, not to watch you eat. I apologize, y'all. I never do that. It's the first time I've ever done that. But I'm hungry. But anyways, like, what's more scary? That they're planning something, the government, or that they don't know what those things are? Now, if they don't know what those are, which I think they do, if they don't know what those are, what the heck is going on, y'all? What the heck is going on?
The DOJ, Border Patrol, and even a rep from the NFL, all of whom say that their operations in some way or another have been hampered by drones coming into the United States. And while several of these entities talked about drones that come from criminal organizations or our adversaries, like Mexican drug cartels or the Chinese government, for example, it was pretty clear that the drones flying over New Jersey at this point are still unknown. Lawmakers at times were frustrated. The FBI and other agencies couldn't tell them more about what these things are or where they come from. The FBI only saying it seems as though right now they don't pose a threat. Several members asked whether we could just bring one down.
Let's go get that DOD capability and find out and put to rest the question, who is it? We can bring one down tomorrow.
But it became pretty clear that as lawmakers continued to ask more questions about these drones over New York and New Jersey, federal agencies didn't have answers for them.
Breaking news, it's 4:30 a.m. and Malibu is on fire. Today is December 10th. Last night, a brush fire has erupted overnight to 1,600 acres of Malibu being on fire. They currently are under evacuation or evacuation warnings. The fire is centered around Pepperdine and the Malibu City Center near the Malibu Pier. If you have friends or family in the area, please reach out to them. If you have the ability to take in any animals, please let people know. Malibu is currently on fire. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. Malibu is on fire. We have red flag warnings, high winds, low humidity, and again, the wildfire, the brush fire has erupted overnight into over 1,600 current acres.
Oh my God, this is incredible.
There is some very strange water experiments you can do with frequencies, set it down on plates and make some really cool stuff too.
So the electricity running into the water makes it do that spiral?
It's sound, really.
Sound.
Vibration.
This is the spout is connected to a speaker. The speaker is being controlled by an oscillation thing. There's a lot of other really cool ones.
So the ultrasonic waves are causing these objects to levitate. So they're levitating in the ultrasonic waves.
People speculate this is maybe how the pyramids might have been made.
Yeah.
Pyramids were made with sound.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on out front?
So you can clearly see there's a red brick road.
Gosh, man.
Everyone's always focused on the yellow brick road. But where does the red brick road take you? It goes that way out of town, and the yellow brick road goes that way.
I wanted to diss Atlanta. It was a bunch of things I could have said about a bunch of people, and I could have really dissed and hurt some feelings. Now, don't you know that?
Yes, sir.
Because I know who the gay rappers is. I know who let them models stick them dildos in them. And I know who did what, where, when, and why.
Wow.
So
Do you
now,
feel like expressing that right now?
Yeah,
Go ahead, no.
say this again.
If you feel like saying it, go ahead.
Say this again. I'm proud of all the rappers in the South. I'm proud of everybody selling records in Atlanta. But everybody ain't my friend, and I don't like all y'all records. Now, if you want to diss me and get on with me, go on and do it. But the difference between me and them other dudes is this. You going to diss me, and I'm going to come see you, Jack. You going to diss them other dudes, and they going to play lip wrestle with you. So if you want it, man, come on with it. If you want it with me, come on with it. Leave Bun out of it, and we going to see in the end, because you going to smell my cologne.
Pimp C,
Right.
who's
Rest
like
in
my
peace.
little brother, and who I saw probably 48 hours before he passed.
Wow.
And I was supposed to meet up with him the day I don't know when he passed, but that Saturday he came to my show. And Saturday we said, let's go dinner tomorrow. And then Sunday we got on the phone and he was like, man, I'm busy. I'm like, damn, I'm busy. We couldn't meet up. And then Monday I didn't talk to him. And then Tuesday they found him. And I'm like, so right off the rip, I'm like, what happened? What happened? Like, what happened? And all I get back is, well, he was in his room by himself and they found him. I'm like, well, was the door, did it have that thing on it? Like, was it the lock? Like, tell me something. Like, you know what I mean? And the most I could get was, I never got if the door was locked or not. I just had to break it down. Because if the door wasn't locked, that means somebody left out.
Right.
If the door was locked, that means he felt good. He locked it. He was in there.
Right.
It's a whole different level of what happened. A lot of shit goes out the window if I just know that part.
Right.
But then it's like, I heard some shit about he had his clothes on or something. I don't know. Like, I don't really know if all this is true, but I just heard parts like, I'm like, what happened to my guy?
Right.
And then they come out with the official. It was a mixture of some stuff, the prescription and something else or something that I don't really know. But with me, I never really heard something that would give that closure for me.
Mhm.
I never really heard anything tangible or true, like what happened to my guy.
Right.
So
That's crazy.
I have this theory that's bigger than just Pimp C, and there's a lot of mysterious celebrities, a lot of mysterious celebrity deaths in hotel rooms.
Wow.
And all these celebrities die in these hotel rooms by themselves.
Always. It's always in a hotel room.
And
What do you think happened then?
I don't know what happened to them, but I know that when you die, everything gets all valuable and shit. I don't, you get marketed in a different way when you're dead.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
Gentlemen. Mr. Cybro.
Yes? If you really walked on the moon, why would you not do that? So why don't you just put the end to the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon?
Mr. Cybro, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Really? Well, no, it's a real Bible. You have the opportunity to have $5,000.
The meeting is not open.
Well, you have $5,000 cash. You can give it to charity if you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon.
Please
I have
give
a
it to
tape.
charity. It'd be fine.
Why don't you swear to? Why not? Why won't you do it? So why don't you put your hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
Mr. Cybro has made a fool of himself in front of the world. Mr. Cybro, you do not deserve answers.
Well, there's the answer. And what's crazy is, like, now we don't really think about that was a big deal, but the whole world was in front of their television that day. Same with JFK. Like, they're coming out. We all know JFK was an inside thing. Now, if they did that back in the 60s and said that, there would have been a CW big time war in the country. if they would have, because people loved them. Same with this moon landing. If they would have came out and said that moon landing was staged back then, 9/11, they come out and say that in 2003, that it was an inside job from the Bush. You know how put together the world was, or the country, I should say. There was American flags everywhere, I remember. But they do it later. They tell us this was late. Like, this is it's all part of the plan, y'all. It's all part of the plan.
Actually convinced of his own words.
The entire program, it's a beginning of a new age.
If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and that she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. How they all end up with that. That's part of what you get. I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all.
Let's talk about some.
Remember what they did to Cat? Remember? Not too long ago, it was a little while ago, but they had him fighting kids in Target, fighting kids at apartment complexes. Like, he went off the deep end because of these things. Now that these things came true, that he talked about, but he's been talking about this. The doctor at the party, at the Diddy party, the doctor in the room, right? He's been talking this in his comedy, and they always made him seem crazy.
Aliens. Have you seen these cow mutilations?
I'm excited, y'all. 2024, maybe New Year's Eve, we're going to do a 2024 recap. I'm going to go through January, find like 10 clips from January, 10 clips from February of big things. There's been big things that happened all 2024. So we're going to do a 2024 recap. Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, y'all. Stay tuned.
It's like all over. It's like cows, horses, livestock in general. It's bizarro. So basically what happens is these farmers go out and these cows are missing different parts of their body. So like their tongue, eyes, ears, private parts. They call it like laser incision. Like, it's so perfect.
Surgically precise.
But then the craziest part is all of their blood has been drained and there's no blood around the cow.
That's terrifying. That's straight out of Dexter, dude. That's wild.
And what's also crazy is every single farmer that they interviewed about this stuff, when that cow is dead, they just leave it there.
Nothing's eating it, is it?
Nothing eats it.
What?
Whoa.
No scavengers, no vultures, nothing.
That's impossible.
And this one farmer that they interviewed, he's like, what do you think it is? And he's like, aliens.
Missing 411, y'all.
Have you ever heard of that concept of morphic resonance? If you teach a rat how to run a maze on the East Coast, a rat on the West Coast will run it faster. They learn the pattern somehow or another. It's very bizarre. There's like information that's apparently shared across species. The idea is that the entire group of these specific types of animals are quantumly entangled in some way that we don't understand.
This is crazy. My God, look at it. That's not a plane.
Yeah, no shit.
That is wild. That's going
I don't know
way
if this
too
is
fast.
legit, but that's crazy.
That's
if it
not.
is.
What's up with my camera? I had to go run in and get my camera. Nobody was gonna believe me. What's with my camera? Look at this thing. Is he... Jesus Christ.
I personally believe this is one of the most important scientific discoveries of all time. I am really shocked that we didn't even learn this in school. This is some next level stuff, and it was verified to be true. Dr. Masarimoto. And what he discovered was, you know, when you speak to the water and you say certain things like, I love you, or, you know, you're my friend.
Or beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Angel. It could be simple, just like angel, happiness, peace. When you say these positive words to the water and then you freeze it, it makes beautiful shapes.
Most of the time they're symmetrical. They look like
you
beautiful.
Google images. They have photos of this.
They look like snowflakes, like beautiful symmetrical snowflakes.
Now, when you say mean, nasty words to the water, and then they freeze the water, it would make ugly,
asymmetrical
shapes.
Asymmetrical.
Yeah, like cracks and looks like damage.
Bubbles.
And you basically prove that, like, your consciousness and your will combined with the intention behind your words affects reality. It's like the concept that, like, your words are magic, so much so that you change physical reality.
Yeah, it is quite literally proof that the things that come out of your mouth
change reality,
affect your physical surroundings.
Yes, y'all. I'm waiting to see something on my Ring camera. Crazy.
So I've created my own gas station that makes fuel from plastic waste. Let's go.
Little kid's a genius, y'all. Look at the little setup. Crazy.
So this is plastic crude oil. And as you can see, we have quite a bit of this plastic crude oil. Well, it can be fuel, but we need to refine it and clean it up. So let's do.
Pope Francis to open 5 sacred portals on Christmas Eve for a ritual that's never been done before. Interesting. So Pope Francis will commence a centuries-long Catholic tradition on Christmas Eve and introduced a first-time historical addition to the holy ritual. Starting on December 4th, the Pontiff will open a series of 5 holy doors throughout the Vatican, including St. Peter's Basilica, plus Rome's 3 other basilicas to commerce next year's Catholic Church Jubilee, a joyful commemoration of faith that normally occurs every 25 years. The door at St. Peter's was sealed shut by a wall of bricks since the Jubilee year of Divine Mercy in 2016, and on December 2nd, those were ripped down to ready the door for opening as part of the rite of recognition. Now, after the Christmas Eve ritual, Pope Francis will open a symbolic door inside the Roman prison Rebibbia on December 26th, the feast of St. Stephen. It will be the first time a pope has opened a holy door at a prison. This resembles freedom, daily feel the harshness of detention and its restrictions, lack of affection, and in more than a few cases, lack of respect, Pope Francis said. In order to offer prisoners a concrete sign of closeness, I would myself like to open a holy door in a prison as a sign inviting prisoners to look to the future with hope and a renewed sense of confidence. Now, the objective of opening the doors later this month is to usher in a year renewed hope as Christians find Christ as the door of our salvation. So this will be the first holy door opened, and this is the door of the Basilica of St. Paul. Now, the Catholic Church began the ritual on December 2nd, praying at the door in St. Peter's Basilica and removing a metal box, pictured right here, that held the key, which was followed by ceremonies at the other 4 doors. This box was buried. They had to unbury it to get the keys. Now, the way this works is the Pope is the first one to walk through the door and unlock the door, and he is the last one to walk out of the door. This is very ritualistic and super serious if you're a Catholic or Christian. Article.
I told you, mother.
Whoa! Call the cops!
Wait, you guys
That dude wanted a refund for his car. He drove it through the dealership.
didn't know Jay-Z's a weirdo.
The 2 of the biggest names in music even meet.
Well, we met a long time ago.
Yeah, Jay-Z met Beyonce when she was 16 and he was 28. And we're not just talking about meeting. They were doing the stuff. Now, before even getting into that, let's talk about the fact that Jay-Z would brag about getting at younger girls in his songs.
Hope got a young girl, I'm still not quite 21.
Now, what you just listened to was Pharrell Williams and Jay-Z's song called Young Girl that released back in 2006. this. Okay, now, so Jay-Z met Beyonce when she was 16 and he was 28. Shit, now if that wasn't weird enough, before Beyonce, Jay-Z had a fling with famous singer Aaliyah when she was 15 and he was 25.
You know, the time filler.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When that time filler turns into something real.
Bro, Jay-Z damn nearly raised Beyonce. This is like his daughter in a way. I mean, 16 years old when he's 28. Bro, that's not your girlfriend. That's your adopted kid. It's just crazy how ever since the Diddler's been arrested, all these A-list celebrities are being exposed and knocked down like pinballs. I mean, shit, thankfully they're all being caught, but it just leads to the question of like, how much longer was this all gonna go on for?
Y'all remember this? I wonder what this was about. And yet, the industry called her crazy. Remember? Solange is crazy. She lost her mind. What do you think now?
You'll see all these $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 houses. Hell, here's one. There's one. All right. I want to show you what these son bitches are made out of. You see that? Better. Okay. There's this. Ain't shit to it. I want y'all's goddamn homes built out of fucking cardboard. 200 G's. 200 G's.
Pan out. It's gonna show his face. Now watch behind their heads. Watch.
That was on purpose, but
This is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my whole life. There is a ship that'll go out into the middle of water and then like go down to the bottom of the floor of the water, like the sea level, and you can walk around in it. The way it works is the ship just grows a third leg that goes to the bottom of the ocean, and when it gets there, it sucks the oxygen out, which allows the ocean floor to basically be completely dry when you walk on it. And check this out, you literally get a staircase that'll take you right to the bottom of the ocean floor. Fun fact, the deeper you get into the ocean, the louder it gets. What do you guys think? Would you ever do this or no?
I don't know what was going on in the video. I don't know if she knew it was going to go out like that. I don't know if she knew how it looked.
Because of your efforts, get this, we raised an historic $1.4 billion. And I know this is an uncertain time. I'm clear-eyed about that. I know you're clear-eyed about it. And it feels heavy. And I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you.
I'm not usually somebody who thinks, oh, they were trying to hurt her by putting out that video, but they are challenging my assumptions on this. And the last thing I'll say before I turn it over to you is I think this is terrible for young women. Right? The election was over 3 weeks ago. She hasn't been seen or heard from. She comes out with this video instead of a message of like, all right, ladies, sometimes you don't win.
It is absurd. And the idea that she's boasting about the fact that they raised $1.5 billion is kind of amazing, especially if the window in which she spent it was basically about 100 days. So we're talking about not only the first $1 billion candidate in history who flamed out spectacularly, but the highest burn rate of any campaign in history.
When all those promises that Donald Trump made, remember how he promised that he's going to cut credit card interest rates down to 10%?
No tax on tips. He
Let's see it.
that.
No tax on tips, right? No tax on Social Security.
That's what he said.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Because one of two things is going to happen. Either he's going to deliver on those promises, which means he's going to have the courage to stand up to those billionaires, or he's just pitching in with the billionaires and he's going to say to all of those people who counted on him, all those people who voted, nope, you don't really matter.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's all framed up now. It's no longer, oh, we're in the campaign and he can promise this to this group and that to that group. And there were a lot of us, you included, who kept saying, but wait a minute, you can't do both of those things at the same time. We are now coming to the part of the world where you literally can't do both of those things at the same time.
Right.
And Trump is going to have to make a choice.
Yeah.
And he's either going to deliver on some of those promises for people, or he's just handing this whole thing over to the billionaires in return for a nice price.
If you go to McDonald's anywhere in the world, you will find French fries, and you will find that they're always made from the same potato, the russet Burbank potato. This is a potato from America that's unusually long and difficult to grow. But that's what they want, because when you're McDonald's, you like those red boxes with a little bouquet of very long chips. It looks really good. And so they insist that all their potatoes be russet Burbanks, and they further insist that they have no blemishes at all. There's a very common defect of russet Burbank potatoes called net necrosis. And you've seen potatoes with a little brown line sometimes, or spots that come through it. Well, McDonald's won't buy them if your potatoes have that. And the only way to eliminate that is to eliminate an aphid. And the only way to do that is with a pesticide called Monitor that is so toxic that the farmers who grow these potatoes in Idaho won't venture outside into their fields for 5 days after they spray. And then when they harvest their potatoes, they have to put them in these atmosphere-controlled sheds the size of a football stadium because they're not edible for 6 weeks. They have to off-gas all the chemicals in them.
Look at this thing. Any of y'all know what that is? That ain't an alien. Strange AI.
Yeah.
Is it AI?
The mixer doesn't work?
It is not working.
Oh, it's not? Okay. Thank you.
And it works. Now, nothing makes me more angry than people that don't want to do their jobs. Yesterday, I took one of those big heaters back to Walmart because we used it for the baby shower, so I took it back. And online, we ordered it online. It said, if you don't have a box, we will break it down and box it for you online. So I took it to Walmart. I don't know why it says that online, but we don't do that here. Pretty much, I took it as they didn't want to do their job. They're being lazy. I was getting attitude. I was going back and forth. I realized, you know what? There's no winning. They're not going to do it. Even though it says right here online, if you don't have a box, we will break it down for you. So I came home, broke it down, put it back in the box. It's missing a couple pieces, but that's on them. That's on them. But I just can't stand like that at McDonald's. It worked. She just didn't want to do the job. It's just like, do your damn job.
So Disney was okay with this too? Disney, the platform that basically makes children movies, they were okay with someone that was just accused of child rape showing up to a children's movie premiere. Disney's okay with that. Okay. This is how.
That's crazy. That's what kind of makes me think he's not going to go down. It's not his time yet. It's going to happen. Just not yet. Maybe another 10 years. It's Jay-Z's turn. Because Disney's still having him. He's doing these appearances. He's coming out saying whatever. What do you guys think? You think they're going to kick him out? You think it's his time to go down? I don't think so. I think he's too valuable of a piece still. We can't have two big moguls go down months, between each other. It's too bad, but that's the way the system works.
Tell y'all that I honestly believe that they trying to do this on purpose. Look at this, Twinkies. Contains bioengineered food ingredient. What it is, we don't know. They all have it. Ding dongs. Yup. Hold on. What that say? What did I say right there? There it is again. What it is, we don't know.
I mean, what's the difference between that and if it didn't say it, but it's got all these ingredients that you can't pronounce, that are chemicals, that are harsh? I mean, what's the difference between all those ingredients compared to bioengineered food? None of them are right, but I'm saying they put some crazy ingredients, whether that's there or not. Them Swiss rolls, y'all. Holy moly.
What it is, we don't know.
What all those ingredients are, we don't know.
On the day Donald Trump leaves office, the Justice Department may indict him.
Very strongly in favor of indicting the president when he is out of office.
I don't think the incoming president should be threatening his political opponents with jail time. That's not the kind of talk we should hear from a president in a democracy.
Now that's why they lost the election. We're going to do a reaction on the second channel of, you know, these newscasters that during the election, you know, lost their mind. We're going to do a reaction on the second channel. Probably be up tomorrow. Make sure you guys go over there and subscribe. But that's why they lost. They didn't lose because she's a woman of color. She's a woman. That's not why. It's because of things like that. That's why she lost. And she had people like this vouching for her. That's why she lost.
Stuff my cock in the Foxx box, but damn if I ain't open Pandora's box.
Was I shocked when Jay said the line in Picasso Baby? Yes, because we've talked about that. We have a history that supersedes music, and we know how this business works. We sit back and we laugh at those rumors. We laugh at that. I think he began to feel the pressure because people were saying my age, the age thing. She was 15, 14. She was 15, 14. And after a while, that gets to a person. The Jay I know, the Sean I know, never comes out of character. So.
Of Oregon Trail. And just a couple people were crossing the old Oregon Trail with their wagons and their horses. Meanwhile, what is going on here? What is going on here? I would love for someone to explain how all of these buildings were built. And it's interesting because they'll say we don't build like this because of cost. You know, everything's too expensive nowadays. It's too expensive to just be throwing up buildings like this. We print money. I don't even want to hear about how everything's too expensive. We print money. We just print. We push a button and we are $38 trillion in debt. $38 trillion in debt. So there's no reason that someone can tell me why we can't be building things like this. Unless we have no idea how to build like this. Because that's what I've started to realize. We have no idea how to use this stone and granite and travertine and all of these things to build things like this during the 1860s and 1870s. And somebody said down below, we live in caves. Yeah, caveman. Caveman, here's me, Caveman Matt. And we're just going around building all these buildings. First, I'm going to get my club. I'm going to get my billy club. And then I'm going to build some buildings like this. That's for sure, as I'm a caveman. And then I'm going to get my hammer and my chisel. And I'm just going to sit there and just hammer and chisel all this. And then I'm going to take the water and move it like this as well, too. And put together a little river. I'm just going to do that with my hammer, chisel, and my billy club. That's what I'm going to be doing.
He's got a point. Because we just saw a couple clips back what they're building these houses out of, cardboard, and like, why don't they build them out of stone, out of granite? Maybe they can't. They don't know how. And so they build them out of cardboard and wood that, you know, over time rots, disintegrates, and turns to dust. Either that, they don't know how, or they don't want us to be in something that's going to last forever, because there's no money in that.
Does anybody have an explanation for this? The United States makes up 11% of the world's landmass, yet 90% of the earthquakes happening right now are happening in the United States. That is proportionately way out of whack. And mathematically speaking, it's just really strange. So does anybody know why this is happening? There's got to be a geological explanation for it. Thanks.
I want you guys to look at this and see who is teaching mankind how to use electricity. Well, what is that? Has everything we learned been fictitious? I mean, we've all seen this illustration, right? Where it's just normal people using these light bulbs. But I wonder where this one came from. That's very, very suspect, isn't it? And then you got the things in his hand. It's very apparent he's using electricity. But again, what is it? Oh wait, there he is. He's actually in a ton of Egyptian hieroglyphs. And it gets a bit stranger because Google AI says that Nibiru seems to be the home of these beings. In general theory, of course. But what's this red thing right here? To me, it looks a lot like Nibiru. And trust me when I say that, they're obsessed with it. So again, I ask you, what is this thing teaching technology to the ancient Egyptians? Why does the Bible compare Satan to a serpent? Wait a minute, these things couldn't be fallen angels, could they? And before you say no way, look at this depiction, this hieroglyph found 8,000 miles from itself. Of course, with the pine cone, self-enlightenment and wisdom and technology. When the angels fell from heaven, they took on a very scaly form. Don't ask me how I know.
I think, there's cameras everywhere now, and that's part of the problem with someone. And I don't think this guy was a professional. I think this guy, if I had to guess, some guy got over. Apparently that company is really bad on denying claims.
34% denial rate.
And normal's like 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
double.
Those guys.
I don't think anybody's going to be crying too hard over that guy.
Yeah, maybe his family, but that's about it.
Yeah.
It's a dirty, dirty business. The business of insurance is fucking gross. It's gross. And especially healthcare insurance. Just fucking gross.
Now, this is a clip from John Q. I blurred it out. Hopefully, I can sneak this through the YouTube strikers. Because this is it right here. This is what happened.
No, what I don't understand is why they never found it, the doctors. My son has had clean checkups every year since the day he was born. How could the doctors not pick it up?
He might not have been tested thoroughly enough.
Why not?
You got an HMO, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's your answer. I mean, HMOs pay their doctors not to test. That's their way of keeping costs down. All right, let's say Mike did need additional testing, and insurance says they won't cover them. The doctor keeps his mouth shut, and come Christmas, the HMO sends the doctor a fat-ass bonus check.
Is that true?
Possible. Not likely, but possible.
You telling me that these doctors may have known what was wrong with my son and they could have treated him all along?
Who knows? I don't know, John.
Don't take this personal, Doc. Y'all a bunch of goddamn crooks.
You don't know what you're talking about.
What about that thing that you guys take?
The thing?
Yeah, that promise. What do they call it?
It's called the Hippocratic Oath. More like the hypocritical oath. How's it go, Doc? I solemnly swear to take care of the sick, damn near dying, unless they ain't got major medical. Something like that.
You got it perfectly.
Very.
It's a cold game, isn't it? That's the cold they told us in the movies right there. How dirty these insurance companies are. Already make billions and trillions. Got enough money that they don't even know what to do with it. You know what? Let's just build another building downtown. We just throw away money. And they still want more, y'all. They always want more. Can never have enough. And they screw us over. One of these days, y'all, something's going to flip this tide. One of these days.
Early in 2025, all hell is going to break loose. The volume of sightings, weird objects in the sky, it's off the charts. I am swamped by people sending me videos from all over.
Now, I got to just interrupt. Now, it happened in Syria, right? They rushed that. They made that president, or whatever they call him, leader, dictator, whatever. They made him flee the country. We took over. I'm not going to say it almost happened here January 6th, because we all know that was fake. But will that ever happen here? Will people ever wake up? Because boy, are we all distracted. Not all of us, but the majority. Because I remember I said 20 to 1, and someone said, no, it's 20,000 to 1. He ain't lying. But are we ever all going to wake up to movies like John Q? How dirty these people are and how much they screw us over? And we go into the office and take over because we got the control. Don't forget, we got to control the people. We, the people, got the control of everything. We run it. We just so distracted and divided by UFOs, by Diddy, by Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Maybe we're fueling to the problem. I don't know. But one of these days, it's going to turn, y'all. It's going to turn. It's going to be scary.
Over the world. And it's not just in Bedminster, New Jersey. It's not just in the United Kingdom. It's India, Greenland, Russia, Kazakhstan, China, Japan. I cannot believe the volume of sightings that are going on at the moment. Something is showing itself in our skies. We are going to look back and we are going to say that the autumn of the drones was a turning point. There's consistent sightings of drones over military facilities. It sounds like nothing at the moment, but I wager it's going to turn out to be enormous. I think 2024 in future will be seen, ironically, as the calm before the storm. A reckoning is coming.
Just Google it yourself. Just look into it. The Federal Reserve is going to start using XRP as their payment solution. When this happens, the price is going to the moon. They are trying to buy back XRP now because they know it is going to be one of the greatest financial shifts in our time.
Now, I don't know if this is true. I know my mom and my sister, they've been on XRP for a while. My mom's got, I ain't even going to say it, but she's got a lot. She's been buying this since it was, for a while. I think I'm going to go throw, I think this dude says 1,000 shares and you'll be good. Right now, one share is, I think, $2.34. So you need about 2,000. Now, you don't got to go buy all those right now. You can buy $50 this month, $50 next month before you know it. Within 6 months, you got a lot of shares. Now, if it goes to Bitcoin level, you only need, 30, 40 shares to have $1 million, which is, 40 times $3. Do the math, $700. Just say 1,000. Can change your life, y'all. Can change your family tree. But if it doesn't, it's going to go up. It might not go up to Bitcoin level, but you might turn that $1,000 into $3,000, $4,000, which is still a win. Can't hurt, y'all. I know I'm going to do it. You heard it here on Segovia. Go get you some XRP, y'all. You never know. Remember our video in the past in 2013 when he said just buy $1 Bitcoin and look what it did? This could be the guy that's the new Bitcoin guy right here. He could be giving y'all the game. Can't hurt, y'all. XRP, open up a Fidelity account. You can go on Robinhood. You can go on Charles Schwab. You can go on Vanguard. Simple. You open up an account, call them. Takes 2 minutes to open an account, connect your bank to it. Automatic withdrawals. You can do it yourself. $20, $30, $10. We'll buy you a couple shares. If it goes to 93,000, $10 to buy you 369. Let's call it 2 shares. That's $180,000 for, that little bit of money. So look into it, y'all.
Having 1,000 XRP in the near future could make you very, very, I don't want to say rich, because it's not going to be rich. It's going to be like well off, which is different than rich. Okay. When the Federal Reserve starts using XRP, the price is going to the moon. Just give it time. Right now, people think less than $3 is expensive. When it's $100, when it's $1,000, the price of Bitcoin is $100,000. XRP can do those same numbers. You're gonna be mad at yourself that you didn't buy when it was less than $5.
For real. That dude was saying that in 2013, and it took till, I don't know when, I'm just gonna say 2020. Took 7 years. 7 years from now, goes like that, y'all. Imagine you put $100 a month over there for 6 months. Imagine what can happen in 7, 10, 12 years. When you're 50, when you're 40, when you're my age, you know what I mean?
China has no human rights. The United States has human rights. China has no human rights. So just imagine how much of an advantage it is to executing quickly and at scale when you don't have any kind of responsibility for human rights. The whole world is choosing sides. We're back to pre-World War II. Are people going to align themselves with the United States long term, or are people going to align themselves with China? We like to blame China for being communist, but China, as they represent themselves to the rest of the world, they don't stand on an ideology. What they stand on is pragmatism. We won't tell you how to dictate your country. We won't hold you accountable for your human rights. We won't hold you accountable for your corruption. If you want to trade with us, we'll trade with you. What does the United States do? No, folks, sorry. You have to be a democracy. You have to have free and fair elections, right? We force our ideology on everybody else. So the whole world is coming to this point now where they have to decide, do we want to bunkmate with a country that's going to force an ideology on us after we've seen how that ideology has failed multiple other countries, right? Failed in Afghanistan, failed in Vietnam, failed in Iraq, failed in Korea, versus China, who's offering an alternative in the marketplace, if you will.
Sure.
Saying, you just do what's good for you, and if what you do is also good for us, we're going to make good bedfellows, right?
It makes sense, right? I mean, why are people going to want, I don't want to be like America. Just let us do what we've been doing. Don't worry about to keep your nose out of my business. We make some money together. Don't worry about what I'm doing over here. I would rather do business with China too if I was a leader of another country and America's over here. You got to be like us. You got to do this. You got to do that. When it doesn't work. And if you don't do what they say, they kick you the hell out, right?
The reason they wanted to ban TikTok is because they didn't like what people were saying on TikTok, not because of the China stuff. They say, oh, that's too left-wing, it's too outsiders, it's too populist, it's too many actual human beings, and it's not a controlled message. That's why Jen Psaki said the other day, and I went nuts over it, she's like, oh, there's social media, there's too much disinformation. We should consider laws against it.
I remember.
Oh,
Cenk,
yeah.
Breaking news for you, according to Wall Street Journal. Appeals court upholds the U.S. ban of TikTok. That just came across the ticker right now. Panel rules Congress has the power to shut down the Chinese-backed app in the U.S. because of national security concerns.
It's national security.
Well,
it's their security. It's the security of the establishment.
This week, a federal court upheld a law that could result in TikTok being banned. You said you're going to rescue TikTok when you get into office. Are you going to take steps to protect it?
Yeah, and as you know, I used TikTok very successfully in my campaign. I have a man named TikTok Jack. He was very effective, obviously, because I won youth by 30%. All Republicans lose youth. I don't know why. Maybe it's changing. And last time we were down 30% with youth. This time we're up 35% with youth. And I use TikTok, so I can't really, I can't totally hate it. It was very effective. But I will say this, if you do that, something else is going to come along and take its place. And maybe that's not fair. What they're doing, and really what the judge actually said was that you can't have Chinese companies. In other words, they have the right to ban it if you can prove that the Chinese companies own it. That's what the judge actually
So are you going to try to protect TikTok just very quick once you're in office?
I know. Answer the damn question.
I'm going to try and make it so that other companies don't become an even bigger monopoly.
Okay.
Because that's what happens.
I was required to wear a black dress. Everyone else was still wearing white. And I believe that the black dress was to establish and to let the partygoers know who to look for if you did want extras. And the black dress is the first time that I recognized that I was drugged. I got numb. I got loopy. I felt like a zombie. I don't like people like finger banging me and things entering me like that. And with the black dress, they would lift it up as I'm walking by and try to stick their fingers in my ass and stuff.
Shit happens. Just make sure the plane you on is bigger than you carry your baggage. Just make sure the plane you on is bigger than you carry your baggage. Make sure the plane you on is bigger than you carry your baggage. Everybody goes through stuff. Life is a gift, love, open it up. You're a child of destiny. You're a child of my destiny. You're a child of destiny, child. That's a hell of a recipe.
All right, family. There you have today's reaction. Boy, do I feel like we're going to have some copyrights today. We got into some things, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. If you made it this far, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. We try to do daily uploads. It's busy, y'all. I got a baby going to be here next month. I've been busy, but I'm still trying to get daily uploads out to you guys. Second channel down below. We're halfway to 1,000 subscribers over there, y'all. We're almost there. Big giveaway at 1,000. Big giveaway here at 10,000. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe. And hey, the XRP thing, y'all. The XRP thing. It can't hurt. It's only $2.34. Even if you buy one for $2.34 and say it goes to 93,000, hey, you just made $93,000 in profit. $2, right? Just like that guy said, just buy $1 of it. You'll thank me later. So I know I'm gonna do it. I got an account. I got a new bank, so I gotta set up my new bank. to connect to it. I tried doing it, but it's a headache, so I gotta call the bank and do all that. So anyways, but this is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. Hope everyone has a good day. I got a doctor's appointment I gotta go to right now. I think it's just a checkup. I don't know if they're gonna do an ultrasound because we're waiting for our baby to flip. I forgot what it's called, but she said don't worry about it. It's normal. At a certain time, we expect the baby to flip right before, you know, birth. So I don't know if it's this appointment or the next appointment. They're gonna do an ultrasound to see if the baby flips. So I'm out of here, y'all. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow on another reaction. I apologize for the eating, y'all. My woman brought me some breakfast. I'm hungry. I'm good now. I'm starting to do carnivore. I'm trying it for a month, y'all. Just for a month. Just to see. Because when I'm doing keto, it's just too much to eat. Peanuts, walnuts, pecans, you know, salad. And I feel like the more stuff you put on your taste buds, the more cravings, at least for me, I have. But when I'm only eating, you know, animal products, my palate only craves, in a few days, it takes like 3 days, my palate only craves these types of food. And it's just simple, y'all. Just throw a steak on there, just throw some eggs, and that's it. You don't got to make a salad, you don't got to weigh out some pecans, you don't got to weigh this out, weigh that out. It's just throw the steak on the grill, come make you a couple eggs, and that's it. Simple, y'all. I like simple, I like easy. But we're gonna see how we do. Trying it for a month, y'all, into January. This is a go signing out of the man cave. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Later, y'all. Love y'all.